Join us as we honor the stars, visionaries, and icons who passed between March 11th and 20th, 2023 in the United States. Gloria D. She was born in August 1922 and she died in March 2023. Her age was 100 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was coronary artery disease. An American magician and actress, widely credited as the first magician to perform on the Las Vegas Strip. She appeared in films such as King of the Congo and Plan 9 from Outer Space. Dee experienced a late-life career resurgence and recognition within the magic community. Lance Reddick. He was born in June 1962 and he died in March 2023. His age was 60 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart disease. An American actor and musician, known for his commanding presence and distinctive voice. He gained fame as Cedric Daniels in The Wire and Sharon in the John Wick film franchise. Reddick also had major roles in Fringe, Bosch, and the video game Destiny. Norman Steinberg. He was born in June 1939 and he died in March 2023. His age was 83 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American screenwriter, best known for co-writing the classic comedy Blazing Saddles with Mel Brooks and Richard Pryor. He won an Emmy Award for his work on the Flip Wilson special. Steinberg also wrote for films like My Favorite Year and Johnny Dangerously. Bobby Caldwell. He was born in August 1951 and he died in March 2023. His age was 71 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from fluoroquinolone toxicity. An American singer, songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist, known for his soulful R&B sound. His signature 1978 hit, What You Won't Do for Love, became a timeless classic and has been sampled heavily in hip-hop. He was a rare, successful white artist in the R&B genre. Michael Reeves. He was born in September 1950 and he died in March 2023. His age was 72 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from Parkinson's disease. An American writer known for his extensive work in animation and science fiction. He was a lead writer and story editor for the acclaimed Batman the Animated Series and Gargoyles, winning an Emmy for the former. He also wrote Star Wars novels and screenplays. Hal Dresner. He was born in June 1937 and he died in March 2023. His age was 85 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was cancer. An American screenwriter and television writer, he was credited with the screenplay for classic film Cool Hand Luke, along with Frank Pearson, famous for the line, "What we have got here is failure to communicate." He also wrote for MASH and Columbo. Jim Gordon. He was born in July 1945 and he died in March 2023. His age was 77 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American drummer and one of the most prolific session musicians of the 1960s and 1970s. He was a drummer for Derek and the Dominos and co-wrote the piano coda for the song Layla. His life ended in tragedy when, suffering from undiagnosed schizophrenia, he murdered his mother in 1983. Dix Denny. He was born in May 1957 and he died in March 2023. His age was 65 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American guitarist and co-founder of the influential Los Angeles punk rock band The Weirdos. Along with his brother John, he helped define the LA punk sound in the late 1970s. He also played with the bands Thelonious Monsters and Spitfires. Rolly Crump. He was born in February 1930 and he died in March 2023. His age was 93 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. A legendary American designer and Disney Imagineer, he was a key creative force behind iconic Disneyland attractions, including the It's a Small World facade and the Museum of the Weird concepts for the Haunted Mansion. Crump was known for his whimsical and eccentric style. Fuzzy Haskins. He was born in June 1941 and he died in March 2023. His age was 81 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from diabetes. An American singer and founding member of the doo-wop group The Parliaments, which evolved into a P-Funk collective. He was a key vocalist for Parliament Funkadelic during their 1970s prime. Haskins was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1997. Stuart Hodes. He was born in November 1924 and he died in March 2023. His age was 98 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American dancer, choreographer, and teacher, he was a principal dancer with the Martha Graham Dance Company and a partner to Graham herself. Hodes had a long career as an educator and administrator in the dance world. Warren Barrison. He was born in January 1935 and he died in March 2023. His age was 88 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. An American journalist and author who specialized in financial reporting. He wrote for numerous publications and authored over 20 books on investing and mutual funds. Barrison was known for making complex financial topics accessible to the public. Wendy Barker. She was born in September 1942 and she died in March 2023. Her age was 80 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. An American poet and academic. She was a poet in residence and professor at University of Texas at San Antonio for many years. Her poetry collections, such as One Blackbird at a Time, received critical acclaim and awards. Antonina Oxalo. She was born in May 1922 and she died in March 2023. Her age was 100 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. An American politician who became the first woman to serve as the mayor of Hartford, Connecticut from 1967 to 1971, a Republican in a heavily Democratic city. She later worked in the Nixon and Ford administrations. She was a trailblazer for women in municipal government. Eric Lloyd Wright. He was born in November 1929 and he died in March 2023. His age was 93 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was stroke. An American architect and the grandson of Frank Lloyd Wright and the son of Lloyd Wright. He dedicated his career to preserving his grandfather's legacy and practicing organic architecture. He was also involved in the restoration of many of his grandfather's buildings. John Jakes. He was born in March 1932 and he died in March 2023. His age was 90 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American writer best known for his sprawling historical fiction sagas. He was called the godfather of the historical novel, selling millions of copies of his books. His North and South trilogy was adapted into a massively popular television miniseries. Charity Scott. She was born in May 1951 and she died in March 2023. Her age was 71 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was cancer. An American legal scholar and professor at Georgia State University College of Law. She was a founding director of the Center for Law, Health and Society. Scott was a leading voice in the field of health law and bioethics. John Jenrette. He was born in May 1936 and he died in March 2023. His age was 86 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American politician who served as a United States representative from South Carolina. His career ended when he was convicted of accepting a bribe in the FBI abscam sting operation. He also famously admitted to having sex with his wife on the steps of the United States Capitol. Gladys Kessler. She was born in January 1938 and she died in March 2023. Her age was 85 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death were complications from pneumonia. An American jurist who served on the United States District Court for the District of Columbia. She is best known for her landmark 2006 ruling that major tobacco companies have violated civil racketeering laws by deceiving the public about the dangers of smoking. Edward Levy. He was born in August 1929 and he died in March 2023. His age was 93 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American attorney and jurist who served on the United States Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit and the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court of Review. He famously presided over the arraignment of the Right Nation cult members in Oregon. Stephen Ungerleider. He was born in June 1949 and he died in March 2023. His age was 73 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was pancreatic cancer. An American sports psychologist, author, and documentary film producer. He wrote extensively on doping in sports, most notably Faust's Gold, which detailed the East German state-sponsored doping program. He was also a member of the United States Olympic Committee. Robert W. Sennewald. He was born in November 1929 and he died in March 2023. His age was 93 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. A retired 4-star general in the United States Army, he served as the commander of the United States Army Forces Command and as Commander-in-Chief of the United Nations Command in Korea. He was a veteran of the Korean and Vietnam Wars. Harold Parks Helms. He was born in November 1935 and he died in March 2023. His age was 87 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American politician who served as a Democratic member of the North Carolina House of Representatives. In 1974, Helms was elected to the North Carolina House of Representatives, serving until 1984. In 1988, he was a candidate for the Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina. David Reed. He was born in February 1927 and he died in March 2023. His age was 96 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. The first Bishop of Columbia and the 6th Bishop of Kentucky in the Episcopal Church, Reed was ordained deacon in 1951. In 1963, Reed was elected as the first Episcopal Bishop of Columbia. Elizabeth de Quevers. She was born in January 1929 and she died in March 2023. Her age was 94 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. An internationally recognized sculptor, also known as Elizabeth Strong Quevers. She was known for her monumental sculptures, often exploring themes of space, time, and communication. Her work is featured in sculpture parks around the world. Pat Schroeder. She was born in July 1940 and she died in March 2023. Her age was 82 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death were complications from a stroke. A pioneering American politician who was the first woman elected to Congress from Colorado. A Democrat, she served for 24 years and was a fierce advocate for women's rights and family leave. She famously coined the term Teflon President for Ronald Reagan. Ronald Rice. He was born in December 1945 and he died in March 2023. His age was 77 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was cancer. An American Democratic politician who served in the New Jersey State Senate from 1986 to 2022. He was a prominent advocate for social justice and civil rights in Newark and throughout the state. He was the longest-serving black law member in New Jersey history. John Linebaugh. He was born in November 1955 and he died in March 2023. His age was 67 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American gunsmith and firearms designer famous for creating some of the world's most powerful handguns cartridges. He developed the .500 Linebaugh and .475 Linebaugh, pioneering the field of big bore revolvers for big game hunting. Mary Ann Nevins Radzinovich. She was born in April 1925 and she died in March 2023. Her age was 97 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. An American literary scholar and professor, widely considered one of the foremost authorities on the poet John Milton. She taught at Cambridge and Cornell University. Her books on Paradise Lost are foundational texts in the field. Bud Grant. He was born in May 1927 and he died in March 2023. His age was 95 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. A legendary American football coach who led the Minnesota Vikings to 4 Super Bowl appearances. He was known for his stoic demeanor and for demanding his players brave the cold without the heaters. Grant was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1994. Amy Fuller. She was born in May 1968 and she died in March 2023. Her age was 54 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death were complications from breast cancer. An American rower who was a dominant figure in the sport in the 1990s. She competed in 3 Olympic Games, winning a silver medal in the women's coxless 4 in 1992. She later became a successful rowing coach at UCLA. Chris Cooper. He was born in October 1978 and he died in March 2023. His age was 44 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart attack. An American-born professional baseball pitcher who spent much of his career in Italy. He was a key member of the Italian national baseball team, helping them to win 2 European titles. He passed away suddenly just days after coaching discussions. Dick Fosbury. He was born in March 1947 and he died in March 2023. His age was 76 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was lymphoma. An American track and field athlete who revolutionized the highest jump event. He invented the Fosbury flop, a technique of jumping backward over the bar, which won him the gold medal at the 1968 Olympics and became the universal standard for the sport. Felton Spencer. He was born in January 1968 and he died in March 2023. His age was 55 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American professional basketball player who was a 7-foot center in the NBA for 12 seasons. He was the 6th overall pick in the 1990 draft. He is best remembered for his time as a reliable defensive center for the Utah Jazz and Minnesota Timberwolves. Joe Papitone. He was born in October 1940 and he died in March 2023. His age was 82 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart attack. An American professional baseball player who was a popular and colorful figure for the New York Yankees in the 1960s. A three-time All-Star and Gold Glove winner, he was also known for his flamboyant lifestyle and being the first player to bring a hairdryer into the clubhouse. Jim Ferry, he was born in June 1931 and he died in March 2023. His age was 91 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American professional golfer who played on the PGA Tour and was a fixture on the Senior PGA Tour, now PGA Tour champions. He was famously the model for the knicker-wearing golfer logo of the Senior Tour. Jeff Gaylord, he was born in October 1958 and he died in March 2023. His age was 64 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American professional wrestler who competed primarily in the USWA and WCCW territories. He was a former football player who transitioned into wrestling. Known for his physique and intensity, he briefly appeared in the WWF in the early 1990s. John Carranza, he was born in January 1950 and he died in March 2023. His age was 73 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American soccer player who was a forward. He represented the United States at the 1972 Summer Olympics in Munich. Carranza also played professionally in the North American Soccer League for the St. Louis Stars. Ray Solari, he was born in February 1928 and he died in March 2023. His age was 95 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. A legendary American college football coach at Menlo College, he led the program to incredible success, mentoring future NFL coaches and players. He famously coached the team that upset San Jose State in 1970. Guy Troy, he was born in March 1923 and he died in March 2023. His age was 100 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American Army colonel and modern pentathlete, he competed in the 1952 Summer Olympics in Helsinki, helping the United States team win the gold medal in the team event. He later served as a leader in the United States Modern Pentathlon Association. Dot Wilkinson, she was born in October 1921 and she died in March 2023. Her age was 101 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. An American multi-sports athlete, considered one of the greatest female catchers in softball history. She played for the Phoenix Ramblers for decades. She is one of the few people inducted into both the National Softball Hall of Fame and the International Bowling Hall of Fame. Willie Kager, he was born in August 1942 and he died in March 2023. His age was 80 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was a heart failure. An American basketball player who was a key member of the historic 1966 Texas Western team. That team, with an all-black starting lineup, defeated the all-white Kentucky team to win the NCAA championship, a watershed moment in sports history. Jeff Cotilla, he was born in February 1959 and he died in March 2023. His age was 64 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American college basketball coach who served as the head men's basketball coach at Michigan Technological University. He was the winningest coach in the program's history at the time of his departure. Mike Kaddish, he was born in May 1950 and he died in March 2023. His age was 72 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from Parkinson's disease. An American professional football player who was a defensive lineman. He was a first-round draft pick by the Miami Dolphins in 1972 during their perfect season, though he spent it on the practice squad and played 9 seasons for the Buffalo Bills. Bob Breitenstein. He was born in May 1943 and he died in March 2023. His age was 79 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. An American professional football player who was an offensive lineman, he played in the AFL and NFL for the Denver Broncos and Minnesota Vikings. He was part of the 1969 Vikings team that won the NFL championship. If these lives touched your heart, please like this video, share your feelings in the comments, and subscribe to Obituarypedia to remember more icons together.